So today I'm gonna explain for you an easy and quick explanation for the cervical plexus. So first of all, cervical plexus is made from C1 to C4, okay? And each one of these have two bifunctions, anterior and posterior, like this. The above is anterior and the below is posterior. C1 actually doesn't have no important bifunctions, except it's like for the greater occipital nerve, while for C2 mainly participate in making only the anterior bifunction, the lesser occipital nerve. But in some situations it can be C2 and C3, but mostly it's only made from C2. Let's write it as a note. It can be like C2 plus C3 in some situations. Now for the posterior branch of C2 and the anterior branch of C3, they participate in making the greater auricular nerve. The posterior branch of C3 and C4, they participate in making the supraclavicular nerve. Anyways, now we're gonna talk about the supplement of each one of them. First of all, I have to say that this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. All of them, they gather here at this point, posterior to sternocleidomastoid, and each of them, like some go here, go here, go here, for special supplements. First of all, the lesser occipital, it supply the, concentrate on occipital part, plus the upper and medial side of the ear, where, as we said, this start from the posterior part of sternocleidomastoid and then it ascend to occipital part, skin, and to supply the ear medial and upper side. Anyways, greater auricular nerve, it have two branches, like here, start from here, and it go like this with two branches. It supply auricle, so it's related to the ear, so it supply the medial and lateral side of the ear. Also the parotid gland, as well as the mastoid skin. Okay, I have bring you here a better photo to understand better. So this is the lesser occipital, we talk about it, and this is the greater auricular. It go to the lateral and medial side of here, and then to the parotid gland and to the skin of the mastoid here. Okay, for the greater auricular nerve as well, it have a good feature is that it's parallel to the internal jugular vein. We can see here, this is the nerve, and this is the external, it's parallel to the external jugular vein. For the supraclavicular nerve, which has three bifunctions, three important branches, 1, 2, and 3. They are called medial, intermedial, and lateral. So medial part is for the innervation of the thorax mainly, and intermediate part is for the shoulder, as we can see here. Here's the shoulder plus the intercostal spaces, and lateral is simply for the back, supplement of the back. That's it. Here we finish the first part. While for the second part, which is related to ansa cervicalis and phrenic nerve. So as we see here, it's made up of three parts, C1, C2, C3. Branch from C1 and C2, C3 in combination, they participate here. Okay, before we combine them together, we have to notice that C1 have two branches for here, and it descend, it have one branch for here, then it goes for combination. And see, here we have the combination, 1, 2, 3. C1, it have here the level of hyoid, so they have to be mentioned for hyoid. We have genihyoid nerve and thyrohyoid, and here it supply the superior belly of omohyoid, and here supply the inferior nerve for the inferior belly of omohyoid, and here we have as sternothyroid and sternohyoid, and this will be for the ansa cervicalis. Ansa cervicalis is done, or it's combined at the anterior surface of carotid sheath. Plus, it have relation with cranial 3 cranial nerves, which are accessory, hypoglossal, and glossopharyngeal. Now let's go for the phrenic nerve, which is made up of C3, C4, and C5. C3, C4, and C5, and it goes down, and while it passes downward, it passes in front of subclavian artery. In some situation, it can be like this: C3, C4 only, then C5 combine later here, because C5, it will be, first of all, it will go and supply the subclavius muscle and form accessory phrenic, then it join later here the C3 and C4. And actually in this situation it might be helpful, because any destruction of C3 and C4, okay, let's say they are destroyed, then C5 will be substituting for this destruction. That's it. Hope it was useful for you. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe.